is that you do it while looking the wrong way, they didn't see the other boat. "You lunatic! Foolish man! Don't you touch that building! This country belongs to Ankh-Morpork. I claim this land in the name of the Sheriff of Alk-Ali. We saw it first! We saw it first before you saw it first!" There was a grinding noise from under the keel of both boats, and they began to tip into the sea-bottom ooze. "He has set his foot on Kalachian soil, the squid thief! Get those filthy sandals off Ankh-Morpork territory!" The two squid fishermen glared at one another. "Mine! Mine!" In Ankh-Morpork there was a tradition of soapbox public speaking in Sator Square, and traditionally people said whatever was on their minds at the top of their voices. Commander Vimes of the City Watch reached out without paying attention and struck a match on Sergeant Detritus. "Sorry, Sergeant." Vimes lit his cigar. "It's not a problem," said the troll. They returned their attention to the speakers. "Time they were taught a lesson," screamed the nearest one. "Ankh-Morpork has had enough. They steal our fish, they steal our trade, and now they're stealing our land." "It's a pirate bloody empire," shouted a speaker opposite him. "And what does the city care? Nothing." There were shouts of shame. There was more in the air than the salt of the sea, Vimes thought. He could sense it. Suddenly, the problem was Kalach. "Wow," said Detritus. "Them damn Kalachians steal everything that ain't nailed down, right?" Vimes shook his head and strolled on. "They don't have trolls in Kalach, do they?" "No, sir. Troll brains don't work in the heat. If I was to go to Kalach, I'd be really stupid." Another speaker was attracting a much larger crowd. He stood in front of a large banner that proclaimed, "Greasy Forain, hands off Leshp." "Leshp," said Detritus. "Now there's a name that ain't got its teeth in." "It's the land that came back up from under the sea last week," said Vimes. They listened while the speaker proclaimed that Ankh-Morpork had a duty to protect its kith and kin on the new land. Detritus looked puzzled. "How come there's these kith and kin there when it only just come up from under the water?" "Good question." "They been holding their breath?" "I doubt it." Detritus's intelligence wasn't too bad for a troll, Vimes thought. It fell somewhere between a cuttlefish and a line dancer. There was a fluttering above him. He sighed. A message was coming in. He took a handful of corn out of his pocket. The pigeon settled on his shoulder and relieved itself. "We've got to find something better, you know," said Vimes as he unwrapped the message. "Oh, His Lordship the Patrician requires my attendance. How nice." Lord Veterinary looked attentive because he found that listening keenly to people tended to put them off. Currently, he was paying attention to Lord Downey of the Assassins' Guild. Eventually, the voice came to a stop in the face of Veterinary's aggressive listening. "Thank you, Lord Downey." The patrician placed his hands together carefully. "The situation, gentlemen, is grave. A number of our citizens have gone out to this wretched island, as have, I understand, a number of Kalachians." "Why are our people going out there?" said Mr. Boggis of the Thieves' Guild. "Because they are showing a pioneering spirit and seeking wealth in a new land." "What's in it for the Kalachians?" said Lord Downey. "Oh, they've gone because they're a bunch of unprincipled opportunists always ready to grab something for nothing. A masterly summation, my lord," said Mr. Burley. The patrician turned to the president of the Guild of Armourers. "But we do have superiority in weapons, Mr. Burley?" "Oh, yes. We've been turning out some superb